Welcome back and good morning. Right now we take you outside to a live look from Brush, Colorado, the northern part of the state where it's looking a little cloudy, also partly due to that smoke right there. This is your VR Wireless Weather Network camera. Your time right now 6:44, but the person with the real sunrise and what's looking good, Storm Tracker 13, Marty with the latest on the weather. Good morning, Marty.
Hey, good morning, Kirsten. We're trying to catch some of these sunrises for you. We still have some cameras that are in infrared mode, but not for too much longer. Here's the view from ORDWAY this morning. Just a splash of clouds out there and a beautiful glow on the eastern horizon, and it's pretty warm. Although away from the mountains, it's maybe a little bit cooler with 40s, but a lot of us here along the Front Range in the 50s right now. FUTURECAST picking up on a little area of some rain and snow showers, mainly over the northern parts of Colorado, along the Continental Divide, as some cooler air is getting near to the area, but isn't going to make it into the southern part of the state today. So we'll end up with a partly cloudy sky and probably a little bit more cloud cover than is being depicted here on FUTURECAST, as it has a hard time picking up on the mountain wave clouds, which we're seeing out there this morning. The other note today will be the wind, which as we move into the afternoon along and west of the interstate will be pretty noticeable, running between about 20 and 30 miles an hour at times. Doesn't look as though the wind's going to be that strong a little farther east, and that's why we don't have red flag warnings in effect for the far eastern plains, but we do for everybody along and west of the interstate starting at 10 o'clock this morning. It's going to be warm today, highs in the 70s and 80s in southern Colorado, at least for the plains. 50s and 60s up across the high country with 70s for the southern valleys. Looking like the way to go today around Teller County. I think most of you will hit the 60s. We'll be in the 70s in Colorado Springs. So some color on the trees out there. You know, a lot of the leaves have been falling, but every once in a while you come across a little patch where it looks nice. And so if you still want to do a little bit of that, particularly here along the Front Range today, might be a decent day to do it. We'll be in the low to mid 80s along the Arkansas River from Pueblo westward through Canyon City. Wet Mountain Valley probably stays in the 60s today, but for most of you nestled up against the wet mountains, we'll likely be well into the 70s this afternoon and breezy at times. And we'll keep that wind coming off the mountains here through the evening hours. The red flag warnings remain in effect until 7 o'clock. We'll probably be breezy to windy at times throughout the night for various reasons. Early this evening, just more of the same from what we'll have all afternoon. But then by about midnight, a shallow layer of cooler air should start to slide in from the north, and I think we'll get a little gusty as that wind shift occurs, maybe for just a short time. As we head into tomorrow morning, FUTURECAST is showing some areas of low cloud cover and trying to hold it mainly off to our north and east, but I think that's probably going to slide up against the mountains. And if not, great, but I would not be surprised if you wake up to a blanket of low clouds tomorrow here along and east of the I-25 corridor. It'll be cooler too, most of us in the 30s. Could have a little ribbon of warmth near the southern mountains where we have some spots still hanging on to 40s tomorrow morning. There we go, starting to try to switch those cameras over just a little bit now. It's not real colorful yet, but we're working on it. I think we'll get there soon. That's the view from our wire nut camera right now from up on top of Cheyenne Mountain. So we get this cold front that comes in for Sunday, some low clouds likely for some of you anyway, and then we'll follow that up with another warming trend. More on that in our extended forecast coming up soon. We'll be back right after the break.